the only poem that I'm going to read that's a little bit older, everything else has been written in the last 6 months. This I wrote, I went through dozens of drafts of this in graduate school, and it's addressed to Anastasia Romanov. One of my advisors in grad school was Ukrainian, and so she saw this right before I gave my final reading at my MFA program, and she called her Anastasia, because she's Ukrainian. And I thought, man, that's cool. And so I got up and I read the poem addressed like Anastasia, and it was a real object lesson in how to come off like a pretentious jerk at your final graduate reading. I'm not going to do that tonight. So this poem is called Vamoose. Anastasia, look at our mothers. This is a dream. Where are the others? A moment supreme. The story of our life begins. The story of the wife, oh mother, posed, face of ash and rose. She smiles, saintly. The midwife slaps the bald soles. Your son. Gunshot cry. The echo. But no, where are our brothers? Where did they go? My father stumbles out into his shock, the snow. I burrowed in my sister's skirts, stock still. Weak, I slipped into the night. The scalpel cut a crescent moon into my cheek. My face wedged tight against her belly's edge. Tell me where to look, which river should I dredge? The Neva's deep. Teach me how to play dead while I sleep. My birthright's apostate. Let's recount our fate. The midwife lands the blow, discreetly, sweetly, mother shudders. Papa's head is in his hands. She lays supine, a girl. End of the world. End of the line. It's true, I'm no princess. So tell me what to hide beneath my dress. Silver trinkets, fatty cakes of soap, little chain breaker, little last hope. Oh, Fabergé Houdini tucked in whalebone stays. Teach me your ways, escape, escape. I refuse to name his crime. Refuse the barefaced rhyme. You are draped in breastplate diamonds, in the slingshot of the bullet's boomerang. I have only Sturm und Drang, these folded, worthless petals trapped between my thighs. I am alone, pretender to the throne. Anna, will you rise whole cloth to guide me through this strange new land? Will you lend the square-cut garnet from your hand? Can you save me with your garland armory? Can you grant your resurrection unto me? It's true, it's true. I want the story of your life and not your life. I want the holy man's advice. I want the trapdoor in this tale. Little one, little last, dumb thumb, Matryoshka doll. Face facts. If I must, I'll split you open with an axe. I have ways to make you talk. The devil knocks, but there is still time. And what grim poise is this? What tryst? Whose family lies behind that cellar door? Don't tell her. Don't tell her anymore. Mostly short poems. My shirt keeps sticking to the electrical tape. This poem is called The Bearable Logic of Light. It's another prose poem. On a day I feel dangerously close to knowing nothing, my brother-in-law, who I love, for whom nothing has come easy, speaks in a generous moment of true sincerity about a research methods course in college, how he had to find a quick way to answer the question, did Emily Dickinson care more about life or death? Earlier I showered, hands sloughing skin from my aging body, the razor's bloodless miracle all the way up my inner thigh, my lovely breasts. How long, this beauty? I am filled with sudden panic. I just thought, okay, you would get her collected poems, hit the index, and see how many times she used the word life versus how many times she used the word death. I reached for the apricot face scrub in its plastic tub and rubbed it on my neck. It's collagen infused, it tells me, capable of a host of tricks, able to diffuse the tiny lines around my mouth and eyes. So why not then the neck, the nexus of the head and heart, liminal, apart, the keeper of the throat. Once my gloating fingers floated down its satin skin, but now they bump along, they stick in what must be the faintest fits and starts of waddled folds. The neck, it's getting old. The first to go. Some days we think we've got it all under control. Just rub that glob of sweetened scrub beyond the firm borders of your pointed chin. My brother-in-law grins. And what was the answer? Did life or death win? Emily Dickinson, Belle of Amherst, no mean poetaster, served a dark and unknown master, had an alabaster skin, shut the world out with her pen. And we know so little of her life, so little of her men. So let's just say, for argument, she mentioned life with twice the frequency she mentioned death. She spent more time on light, on breath, than on their end. Where does that logic lie? Imagine Miss Dickinson. No, try. All gussied up in her white skirts, her corset laced until it hurts, and always sure she's just about to breathe her last. And so, to push the thought away, to try once more to meet the day, she writes another song in careful praise of shining suns and aprons creased and sparrows hopping down the lane. But in her brain, the end is always nigh, and still the hope to see another sunrise in the Massachusetts sky, to know at least that it will be there, even if we're not. The water is too hot. My thumb and pointer pinch and hold and pull upon my neck. It wobbles back, slack. But never mind. This too I shall unline. This too I'll scrub away today and start anew again. Oh, hands, oh, butterflies and two-ply strokes. Oh, fluid, pumice choke against my hollow throat. Oh, gratitude for creamy, pummeled rock, its wild claims, its crock of total shit, that it can put a hit on time, rewind its chimes, go talk-tick, not tick-tock, can work in perfect scamming tandem with my hands, their cosmic joke, their counterclock, their lying. Bless them for trying. A very short poem. I teach writing, and many of my students are either immigrants or the children of immigrants, and many of them are from Pakistan and India, and they're trying to sort of negotiate the difficulties of being in America and also respecting their parents, who they love very much. And so I was talking to one of these students one day, and she wears a hijab, and she does not want to wear the hijab, but she feels that she must, and she's just the most terrific girl. And we're talking, and she looked at me and she said, "You know, Emily, it is difficult to live with this heart." And I just was amazed. And so I went home and wrote a poem about it. So it is difficult to live with this heart. Braless, a backless little black dress, obsessed with glory, story, a lace and cotton-strewn mess. From one end to the next, a single gold hoop unhooked and gone, forever wanting more, a heavy, rain-soaked land. A mouth that bites the blameless hand, an aimless vessel of tameless wrath. 33-year-old Sylvia Plath, mathless, beating you over the head, lead weight, dead weight, capable of half-assed sleight of hand. Now loves a woman, now loves a man. Lithe and tan today, pale and fat tomorrow. And borrow, 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 no return. Never learns. A single stopgap sparrow begging the music of a lapwing, a lark, singing the dark, the flowing arc of that girl's hair, every last strand bound by its scarf, bringing the news, the jet black imagine unloosed. Last one I'll read. We're also lucky to live here because we have this amazing community of writers, and this poem is a direct result of the poem that Emery DeGiorgio, who's often my first reader, read tonight about the theoretical physicist. So I'm very grateful to have her as a first reader and as a very dear friend. So as such, this poem is dedicated to Emery. It's called Torch Song for a Unified Field. Change the terms, and you change everything. You're already in a relationship, whatever he wants to call it, my friend. Another poet says, over lunch, dragging naan through raita, which is also called yogurt, the way our bodies open for another. My lover, her husband, her daughter, my son. A fermion is now a boson, but maybe we knew that all along. I recall with a hot face you could split with perfect symmetry, his warmth against my back, waking me. It's just another language question in the myriad of ones and zeros, which aren't ones and zeros until we say their names. Another tiny universe to describe. Newton said it was like the billiard ball's perfect clunk and bounce. String theory says the balls do clunk and bounce, but oh, the things that ring inside them. A symphony, a minute, ever-singing harpsichord. So, too, the air the balls slice open is made of chorals, castrati, philharmonics, splitting for a moment when the 8-ball motors through. But Bach, the man who plucks the strings, who wrote the code, is nowhere to be found. In the same way, you and I have a story, which hides a story, which is entering a long coda, which is, forgive me, the wrong word, an epilogue. Epilogue. Picture the asterisk, the lengthy footnote. Later they reunited after many years. She had a child, he had another broken heart. Hers had long ago taken on the quality of a violin string, a Stradivarius, if you'll permit it. Pull, 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 press, grinded deep into the wooden grains of her rounded, water-heavy body. It refused to snap and, quiet for a while, resumed its ever-present hum, or ability to hum. Let's call it potential energy, a stored equation that, if properly plucked by the right fingers, burst into a song so clear and loud, so totally beguiling, that the owner of the hand became eclipsed, convinced beyond a shadow that he'd written it himself. Conversely, Keith Richards is still sure he stole the riff for satisfaction, having woken with it fully formed in his head, unaware, perhaps, that matter cannot be created or destroyed. That the Big Bang, and don't try and picture it because you have to picture a place so dense that nothing surrounds it. There is not yet such a thing as space. Don't try. But since I know you will, because you are like me in ways we cannot yet foresee, but which, like everything packed into that proto-8-ball, already exists, imagine a hot black sphere of reverberation, which already carries inside it pteranodon bones, Guernica, and the whole of what one day we'll agree to call California. It carries the matter. It carries the codes. It carries the matter that will make the brains, that will write the codes, that the brain will discover already existed in nature, whatever that is. Everything was always here, just waiting to reveal itself. A note from your lover telling you he has to go now, far away, like the voice in your head that says, of course, I knew it all along. We are strung together, lightly, barely packed, spinning atoms, singing strings of names. If you touch me, I will gallop into particle and flame. Thank you.